The stories of the Red River Cart, its significance in the Métis culture and the community of French-speaking Métis will be explored and illustrated in a brand new online resource. The website is called Red River Cart Stories or Histoire de la Charrette de la Rivière Rouge, and it's now available to parents, teachers, and students wanting to learn more. Joining us now with more on this new website is Monique LaCoste. Good morning, Monique.
Good morning, bonjour, bon matin.
Bon matin. This is so exciting. This is something that parents have been asking for. This is something teachers have been in schools. Tell us what they were asking for, first of all, and how you met that need.
You know, I think from the teacher's perspective, a lot of schools are looking to integrate Indigenous perspectives into the classroom. Don't know quite how to do it. You know, they want to do it right. If they've not grown up in the culture, if they're not Indigenous themselves, they really want to be respectful.
Right.
And so l'Union Nationale Métis Saint-Joseph du Manitoba is the oldest Métis organization in Canada. It actually started before Louis Riel died in 1883. There were a few meetings that led to its founding shortly after in 87. And they have heard from parents for years that we just need something, even as Métis families, to talk about our culture, to talk about our identity. So much has been lost or hidden. In my family, our roots were hidden.
Yep.
And so how do you get that back? So Janine Touga is a francophone ally of the Métis, worked with l'Union for many years, and she wrote a collection of stories that she wanted to offer l'Union as a gesture of reconciliation, actually.
Nice.
And that was not the ending, that was the beginning of the story, where a committee of Métis educators, members of the community from different walks of life, came together and worked with Janine to get these to a point where they are authentic and culturally appropriate, and they're entertaining, and so it's just a really great resource.
And there's 3 different languages going on the website. There's English, of course.
Yes.
Français, which is French.
That's
and then
right.
Métis as well.
That was really important. So we know in the classroom people are learning in English and French, but when you talk about what has been lost in the Métis culture, language is one of the big ones. And so we wanted to make sure that we could hear these stories in Michif. So Michif is not one language. There are many dialects that are different regions, have different flavors.
Okay.
So the site has stories that are narrated by language keepers from Saint-Laurent, Saint-Ambroise, Brandon, Île-à-la-Crosse in Saskatchewan.
Wow.
So we have northern Michif, we have southern Michif, just a couple of stories, and the rest are mainly French Michif and from different regions. Saint-Adolphe is also represented.
So come the new school year,
Yeah.
it's really geared for teachers to use as a tool.
Yeah, absolutely, and there are teacher guides that are absolutely spectacular. We work not only with educators, but with the French Department of Education, le BEF.
Yep.
And so this meets curriculum needs, the latest standards, and they're going to have really a resource to say, how do I use this in the classroom, not just in language studies. There's even one story where you could use it in your math class. But for families, it's amazing. If you're Indigenous, maybe you want to have an opportunity to talk about things like identity.
Yeah.
These stories are like a jumping off point to do that. And in other ways, if you're not Indigenous, then in a very modern setting, these stories allow you to learn more about what it means to be Métis.
And you don't have to be in school to have a good laugh with it either, Monique.
That's
this
right.
has been so wonderful. Thank you for sharing this with us.